Hey yo, what is poppin' people? It is your boy, Young M, aka Little Monkey, about to climb them trees cause you know I'm about to get this green. Young Obama, fresh out the Senate, had to take care of some business in the Banana Republic, but now I'm back and you know I'm about to attack, you get me? So with formalities out of the way, I figured today for this video I would talk about a competitive-esque topic. Now, for some of the comp players who are watching this video, some of you are probably already like, oh, what is he talking about? I've never heard of this in my life, and I've been playing this game for like, a good amount of time. So essentially, space is a concept to which I have always used when I played the game, and it just helps me to understand how I'm supposed to approach weapons, how I pick fights, and it makes me aware of certain things because it puts me in like a certain perspective. So I have actually a little chart to which I'm going to use to help define space and make it a bit more easier to convey to the average man. Okay, so with this chart right here, you can see that I have two circles and then a inkling in the center. So essentially, let's visualize that this guy is playing Elf Nose. The outermost circle is a circle to which you would preferably consistently love to pick fights in. That is a circle to which you will be most comfortable in, and that is what space is. Space is a area of control a given weapon has, and that is the area to which this weapon will comfortably exist in. Now, this guy over here has unfortunately entered my area of control, my most optimal space. So in any given moment, since his circle is smaller than mine and he can't reach me, yet he's within my range, I will always win this fight. So this guy basically done for it. He fucked up, tried to swoop in, couldn't do anything. So obviously, you're never gonna take this kind of fight because you know if you pick these types of fights, you're gonna end up dying. But now he's entered my least preferred area while also closing the gap for his. So essentially, basically three things happen now. The first one is he kills me. The second is I get lucky and I'm able to make up for my mistake and kill him. Or the third is that we trade. Now obviously, you hope that you can at least get the last two, but sometimes or most times, since the area of control has already been broken and you've entered their area of space, you're gonna end up losing the fight. Alright, so far, some of you are probably watching this video and you're saying to yourself, wait a second, isn't this guy just talking about range? I don't see the big picture. I don't really get what he's trying to sell me. So essentially, range and space are similar but also different concepts, or at least space is a protrusion of range. Range is essentially just how far your weapon shoots, while space is how much of the range you occupy that you can comfortably exist in and you can dominate. It's why charger players are highly respected, and it's why you just don't rush down an AWP player. Now obviously, there are different ways to which you can handle breaking space and how you can make yourself more optimal, which is essentially because Splatoon is not a two-dimensional game. It's not just this flat line of, oh, you have more range so you win. There are objects that you can use, there's specials you can pop to force movement, and there's all sorts of things, right? Because that's just how the game works. I have some examples which I'm going to show you guys in a bit, but I'm just trying to clarify that range, how far you shoot, space, how much of the range that you have that you can comfortably exist in so you can take fights. Okay, so for our first example, we have a resplat zones game, and I'm essentially just trying to cap this zone. Notice the distance I have from the zone. I'm basically optimizing as much as I can, and then boom, this T-Tech drops. I'm missing all their shots because again, I was already so well spaced out from the zone. So you notice how this T-Tech is trying to move around this table. They're trying their best to ensure that I don't get to shoot them, but they don't get to shoot me either. And you notice this T-Tech is constantly driving themselves forward. They're trying to get in as close to me as possible, ensure they can kill me, but I keep backing up, and that is how you utilize space as a longer range player. You have to ensure that the shorter range players aren't able of breaking your form and then getting to utilize theirs to the best of their advantage. Okay, so next up we have a zone snapper game. Don't know how many more zones games I have. Hopefully it's not all zones games, but I'm pushing right hill and I see that there's some orange ink pulling up on me, so I know that I gotta be careful where I am. So I'm gonna distance myself out, pre-fire a bit. Notice the distance I have from this wall, right? because I'm essentially preparing myself for this person to spring up at the worst time. So 2 people pull up, but notice how they're both shooting at me. Barely any shots hit on me. Why? Because I spaced myself out. So I'm gonna throw a bomb at the wall, paint myself up, boom, somebody's already above me. I know they're gonna push me. I'm gonna throw a burst bomb down, disorientate them, turn around, try to get some distance, and then get a kill on the T-Tech. So I now know the splash is under me. See, there was a burst bomb already at me. They're trying to get some damage. So I'm gonna drop on the splash, thinking the splash was on the wall. Fortunately not, and I could have died here, but the splash actually moves backwards and goes into my most optimal area, and then I'm able to win the 2v1. Easy as that. Very simple, just because of how well I spaced myself out, and just because I was able to control my area so well with good decision making. Okay, so for our next example, we have the worst map mode rotation in the game, and I see that there's a junior bottom mid. There's also a jet squelcher behind this junior, and that's going to come in handy later. But notice how I'm shooting at this junior. I'm keeping my range, and even when I do drop, I don't drop on this bumper to such a distance to where the junior can just pop up on me. You know, I go all the way to my drop. See, I have burst bomb get thrown at me. I know this jet's trying to pick something with me, so this junior gets some fall off. I know this junior is going to be panicking, so I keep shooting at him. The jet's shooting at me, but jet can't reach me. So I have enough time to where I can cover the paint of the jet, and the junior can spring up on me and I can react to it. That is essentially perfect spacing. This junior, even getting the jump on me, could not even try to get damage on me while I'm able to paint my feet and focus on something else. Okay, so for our final clip, I'm on a reframe maker, and I'm firing out some shots because I know somebody's here. But I move around, I go to the tree, immediately see some Flingza. I see that they're vertical flicking, back up. I don't want any of that. Flingza has more range than L3, and I'm trying to ensure that I am in the weakest area of their flick. So by using the tree as a means of protection, I close the gap on the Flingza, and they start moving back. Now the Flingza immediately messes up here because they put themselves in a corner to where my reach is effectively the same as theirs. I fire up to close their point of exit, and I get some fall off on them. So now Flings is weak. They can't flick here because if it's vertical, they have way too much lag. If it's horizontal, I'm already perfectly spaced out against them. They essentially lost the fight before I even picked it with them. So I move up because I'm trying to make sure that I can, you know, pick off the rest of the team. I see that there's a sploosh going for the Rainmaker. I move in, get the kill on the sploosh. There's a pro over towards my right, and they're of course going to see me a little too late out, unfortunately. And so I start shooting at the pro. Pro's super weak. Pro makes the same mistake that the Flingza made. The pro, instead of moving towards their tree, goes towards their street. And so I shoot up. I don't even have to look at this pro because I'm already closing this pro's point of exit. So the pro is forced to fight me, and because they're forced to fight me, I get a free kill on a weak enemy. A triple, easy, clean, free as that. So with that said and done, we have reached the end of this video. I want to say thank you so much if you've made it so far. I know this has been pretty long and just me boasting about my gameplay, but hopefully you have learned something. I didn't really go too much in depth on how to use shorter range weapons consistently to close gaps, but essentially you just have to have very good movement and use the objects around you to your best of advantage, or use specials that force movement such as Ultra Stamp or 10 missiles, basically. Just for examples, because you know there's Stingray, all that other stuff. But space in Splatoon is very important in my opinion to how you pick fights and how you win your matchups, because Splatoon matchups in terms of mechanical skill are based purely on experience and how knowledgeable you are of your weapon and the enemy weapon. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a long video, I know it's been a bit of a drag, but you know, again, thank you, and I hope you guys have a good one. See you next time.
I got links, say a word, then my goons will move. Niggas want apartments, home improvements, how we gripping tools. You got little buddies, but a nigga got a bigger crew. When the Mars light, it's lights out, still your pay from you. You niggas Kylie, how you switching up Octavia.